have to ask you about the unfortunate joke in the van.
Oh no, I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember in the morning. I've just went to bed drunk, whatever, woke up, went to the interview in the morning, and I'm having a laugh and a joke in the interview, can't remember nothing. And then she says, do you remember you made that joke? And then it flooded back to me.
Why does your face look like you've just been raped? Belly
Don't make jokes about that.
No, I can't even make any rape jokes.
No, because I have actually been before, so it's not funny.
And it was just so, like, in my drunk stage, like, my mind was clouded. And then just thinking about the fact that I joked about something could have brought that person back to that situation and made them think about that horrible situation. Too much, to be honest. Like, yeah, it wasn't good.
We've had to go through that and then I'm like a dickhead making a joke about it. I can't even think about anything else. I just want to go and speak to her.
He like sprinted out so fast and he was like almost crying and he was shaking and he was just like, I'm so sorry that I did that to you.
Sorry about saying that like that stupid joke last night. I'm so sorry for saying it, you know. I don't even know half the I'm saying when I'm wasted. I didn't realise.
You could see he was just heartbroken, you know. He just like couldn't stop hugging me and was just on the verge of tears and, you know, he definitely felt bad about it.
Just thinking about the fact that I joked about something could have brought something up which might have brought her back to a place which is a horrible situation. Like it genuinely upset me and probably made me realise how much of a strong person she was. I mean, like someone who that can happen to. Like it can ruin your life. It has ruined lives. It will continue to ruin lives, and I think seeing her how positive she is every day and she's open to talking about it. She's got a lot of layers, hasn't she, Aesha? You don't realise it. She's like an onion.
I think sometimes people can get a little bit confused with people like Aesha because she is so happy and positive and bubbly, and you don't expect her to have the pain of being raped or the pain of sitting there watching her brother die, or, you know, because she is that kind of vivacious, beautiful personality. But, you know, she's chosen to continue being a happy, positive, bubbly person. And I think there's other people where they've chosen to let it turn them, you know, turn it into turmoil inside and have demons and things like that, as opposed to dealing with it and continuing to try and be a happy, positive person.
She's tough as Aesha.
The fact that she's a strong girl still doesn't take anything away how bad her was.
Your intent was to just have to make a joke.
It's insensitive, yeah, obviously, and I regret. Do you know what? I don't regret saying it, to be honest. It's made me realise after it. To begin with, I was like, what have I said? Because finding out after that she had been raped in the past, I've never talked about the situation with her because she didn't bring it up with me, but it made me realise to not say it again. I might say that again in front of someone who didn't have the guts or the courage to talk about it. Not one of my proudest moments, definitely, but like I said, I'm not glad I said it, but I don't regret it because it's a massive point in realisation for me.
Okay, so at some point, an alarm goes off. It was a Blackwater alarm? What was going on?
Blackwater system.
Mike, it says sensor fault, Blackwater system.
Travis or Jack?
Yep.
Can you stop drinking beer now and find out why the alarm is going off? Enough. Jesus Christ. Now I'm pissed.
Came in like a cat on a hot tin roof, didn't she? Like flipping a lid.
Yeah, it's because they were doing that little meeting or whatever, and I crawled underneath them to get beers or whatever.
And I think it was Travis that like ended up with his beer like crawling on the crew mess floor, like to get. I mean, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. But if something major was to happen, that's what the alarm system's for.
I was sitting there, I'm like, Jesus, man, you got balls. The captain is like right there. Are you stupid?
Yeah. That's called being drunk. That's a huge problem.
Yeah, so Sandy's rule is like not drinking on charter, but anything else, she kind of leaves us to be responsible adults.
At some boats, it's dry. You're not allowed to drink even if you go out. If you get caught, they'll drug test you, they'll test everything, and you get fired on the spot. Sandy was nice enough, I would say, to allow us, a little bit of leeway. Until someone takes advantage.
As a captain, I'm not their mother. I don't really give a shit what they do in their cabin on their time off. I do not care. What I care about is when they show up for work, that they're on their game. And when there's an alarm that goes off and they're not even addressing the alarm, that's a huge problem.
It's completely not our job. You've got a chief engineer who should be monitoring the panels. Like, there's also 5 people sat next to the panel. How the do you blame people who are in their cabin for not seeing the panel when you're in front of it? For not going and acknowledging, oh, you're in your cabin, you didn't come out to check it? What, you want 10 people to come out to check the panel every single time they hear an alarm? Every single time everyone has to come out?
When we hear an alarm, everybody needs to be alerted. Because if you start conditioning yourself up, it's just an alarm. It could be a fire. You know, people have died because of that attitude with crew in a shipyard in Barcelona. The crew went out drinking, they heard the alarm, half of them were sleeping, they had to be woken up, they left one crew member in the bow of the boat, and she died. And that's what happens, and for me, I take it very seriously. So when they didn't get out of their cabin, I was pissed. I'm just intolerable when it comes to that.
If there was a significant emergency and the captain is sitting there looking at the control panel, pretty sure they'd let us know. It's bullshit. The whole thing is bullshit. No, the whole thing is bullshit. How the is that our responsibility when there's a chief engineer and stuff on the boat? Yeah. Which that's their responsibility. Had nothing to do with us. We can't blame for zero reason. That's how I see it anyways.
So there was a moment after the Blackwater alarm that you checked in with Sandy.
I just want to make sure that you're not stressed and you know that we're going to be fine.
Oh my God, give me a hug. Thank you, Hannah.
The girls will come to me if I look like I'm having a bad day, and, the boys are just fine. But it's like there's not really anyone to touch base and make sure she's okay,
I have to say this about Hannah. Our first season together, we were like this. You've been gone almost 5 hours. You actually think what you did is okay. That's the most disturbing
Yes,
part
I do
for
think
me.
it's okay for me to be with
the
guests
problem.
who
That's
have come
why
back.
we won't work together. We're done. The rest of this charter, you stay away from me. But there was a point where she came to me and said, are you okay? Because she knew I was going through something, the worst breakup in my life. Actually, you know what happened? I got hit by a car, they discovered kidney cancer, and I actually told this story. I took an Uber to go get my surgery for kidney cancer. She didn't even come with me. So that's what happened.
Bitch. Oh, sorry.
And then I woke up and my mechanic was standing over me. And I thought, why are you here? Not the person I was in love with.
He was just nearby, or what?
Yeah, well, he came to see me at the hospital.
Yeah.
But then they thought he was my husband. So they sent him back. That was my first year of filming. And I was a mess. I was always in my cabin crying. I love that about you. You have that compassion.
Yeah.
So for me to have a crew member do that for me, speaks volumes about their character. We're all on the same boat together.
So tell me about the double date. Tell us how that unfolded.
So the first date, we thought it'd be a good idea to go on a double date.
I'm going on a date with you.
I was meant to ask you on a date as well.
Sure, we'll go on a double date.
Whose idea was it, the double date?
I can't remember.
I think we're just trying to turn things up to make it kind of funny, weren't we? We just said, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Couple of dickheads hanging out in the cabin. Yeah, that's a great idea. Fucking idiots.
Yeah, so yeah, we
Yeah,
went
we
up,
should
said
put suits on. Yeah. And we were going to get a chariot and shit.
Yeah, we wanted to pull out the stops and make it like something a little bit special. So yeah, we were trying to arrange like a horse and carriage to pick us up and a helicopter and all that, but the budget wouldn't allow.
I remember they came to me and asked how I felt about it, and I'm like, what do you say to that? So, I'm not your mom,
Yeah.
I guess chivalry is sort of it's really great, actually. I thought it was really sweet how Travis asked you out and Jack asked Aesha out.
Aesha was like, oh my gosh, Jack just asked me out to dinner with him. You know, like, oh girl.
Yeah, we wanted to make an effort though, but so we went and asked them. Obviously, then Travis has got the knockback for being too pissed off.
Whatever.
Don't be jealous, mate, just because Hannah gave you the boot.
You're drunk, fucking hell. Oh, right, oh, Christ.
What's happening?
Can we do our date another day?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, don't be like that.
Don't f***ing drink beer before the date.
Hannah just always had this idea that I was just fucking pissed and stuff. Like, I was super coherent. Like, I'm not dribbling on myself or any stupid shit.
I know people who have said that they haven't been drinking and they have. I know you're drunk. And if you know that you're going out to dinner, to me, I was like, why would you get drunk at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when you know you're going to dinner that night? And there's a big difference. If he'd had 2 beers in the afternoon, that's fine. But there's a big difference between that and being drunk. And I don't want to go out to have dinner with a drunk person. Like, unless we've been at a mimosa brunch and I'm drunk as well. I don't want to be hanging around you.
Exactly. They were sitting on their bed drinking. First and foremost, when you sit in your room and you drink, there's a problem. And they're bunk beds. So their cabins are really small. So when I open the door, you know, there's the beers and they're like knee to knee. You know, it's just weird. Yeah, it's not normal.
To be honest, I think Hannah probably just wanted to get out of it. And she saw a fucking opening and she went, yeah, cool, Trav's pissed. I'm gonna use that as an excuse.
So Hannah cancelled the date last minute because Travis was quite drunk before we left. And I can definitely understand why she did that. And I was actually quite stoked because I was like, I don't really want to go on a double date. Like, if I'm going to go on a date, it's because you're trying to get to know the person. And if Han and Trav came, then we would just be like having our same boat banter the whole time. And you're not really learning about the other person. So
and Jack and Trav have their own like romance. So
well, yeah, because you know, Hannah and I were like are so tight. They're so tight. Like, I don't know, it would have just been like friends hanging out. So it was actually great that Trav got that drunk. He can get drunk anytime.
I think if they'd gone out, Travis and Jack would have come home together though. And the other two would have.
They probably would have left the girls, you know, out and be like, oh,
the girls would have come home
us.
together, and those two would have come home about 3 a.m. together. Obviously, Jack carrying Travis. Yeah.
Hey, subscribe if you like the video, and if you want more, click here.